I can create a whole universe every night before going to sleep. And I would limit myself to some fake scenarios with some guy. What do you do when you can't sleep? No, other than that. For me, it's fake scenarios. You know, the kind that involves a man and activities like yeah. There's a specific moment in that scenario where I don't control the plot anymore. When the boy in question starts like levitating up in the air and random characters appear and I slowly transition into the dream world. But one night I was like, wait, why would I limit myself to imagining a scenario with a boy when the amount of things and the possibilities of things that I can imagine up here are literally infinite, limitless. So that night, this was my fake scenario instead. Here's my fake scenario. Holy shit, I wrote a lot of detail. Write your dreams, guys. This is important. You gotta write them. You gotta write them. It trains your visualization skills, and maybe one day I'll be able to lucid dream because I'm doing this. I don't know if I will. One day I will lucid. I already lucid dreamed. Act like you already have it, whatever. So that night, I was on a hike with Hitomi Mochizuki from YouTube. And the sky is cloudy and foggy, and we are walking on an incline when we suddenly stumble upon a mysterious hut on a patch of grass encircled by the trail, overlooking the valley. We go inside and it's all wooden, a warm orange. I remember that. See, writing makes you remember your dreams. There's an open area, and to the right a fancy looking mirror with işlemeli çerçeve, and under it a komodin full of drawers. Full of çekmece, I should have written. Each drawer offers an activity. You can never get bored. There was a jewelry making kit. There was a music production drawer, which comes out with an audio interface and everything when you pull it out. Another drawer has board games and such. There is another shelf next to it. I remember this so clearly. It was the whole thing. This is my scenario. This wasn't a dream. This is my scenario. This is what I imagined. There's another shelf next to it on the same side of the wall with a giant book encyclopedia of everything. It was huge. It was like this big. I get it out of the shelf and lay it on the floor. I am a hobbit compared to the size of this thing, but I quickly get bored of it and get up to discover yet another room with... I don't remember. We continue to walk straight. The last room is a kitchen, and there we find drawers with instant hot chocolate and other drinks in compartments. The drawer next to it has a compartment full of marshmallows. If you imagine like a drawer like this, and there's a thing like this inside the jar. You know, this is my messy jewelry thing. So there was that. The marshmallows weren't in packets. They were in the actual wooden thing that looks like that. Not in a bag or anything, just plainly laying there in the jar. The window in front of the sink is huge, and you can see the foggy mountains and the ocean. New rooms materialize as we continue walking. After the kitchen, there is a bedroom with a huge king-size bed. And a new room materializes where we find a black portal with a glowing purple neon outline. That portal takes us into a new setting. We're on a beach where they are playing Could You Be Loved? And there is a house DJ, and we arrive there. I remember this too. We are there automatically. The DJ was offering us watermelons, I think. And we are automatically changed into bikinis. I am wearing a pink bikini with cute motives. We go for a surf. I have a small hardboard. I don't have a small hardboard yet. I'm still on like 8-foot foamies for now. See, manifest. Okay, Tommy has a 8-foot foamy because I am better. We go for a surf. I feel the thrill of riding the wave. One movement, j'atterris au shore. J'atterris au shore. Park my board there on the sand and run to the bar where the DJ is, where a plate full of watermelon— See, I remembered! Is waiting for us. I didn't read this for like months, but I remember the watermelon. I savored the juicy watermelon, then I decide it's enough time on the beach, so we call the portal to reappear and go back to our cabin in the mountains. There we are again, automatically changed back into our hiking clothes, and we sit on camping chairs under the gazebo, and the gazebo literally materialized as we went back. I don't remember imagining a gazebo before the beach, and then there was a gazebo. Outside the cabin, and have our hot chocolates with marshmallows on top as we look out to the mountains and the rocky ocean below us. And then I wrote, this is what I wrote after writing my random hike so I don't forget it. I can create a whole universe every night before going to sleep. Decide each take the story turns as I go. That is the power of imagination and of the human brain. And I would limit myself to some fake scenarios with some guy? Hell no. Hell no. And I wrote nor. So that night, this was my fake scenario. This was my fake scenario, guys! And it made me think. We talk about manifesting our dream lives and how reality is limitless. But even when not in reality, we are limiting ourselves to whatever boy we're speaking at the time. What? And like, if you're a girl, decenter men, that's a whole different conversation. I'm not even gonna you can literally visualize anything. And one night you can be a pop star. The next night you could have a cute little flower shop in the middle of nowhere. The next night you could be, I don't know, a fairy. Now, if every night you visualize being a pop star, it might just manifest into your life because you get your brain familiar with the idea of that life and of the idea of you in that life. You know, the thing they say, like, the brain doesn't know the difference between reality and visualization. I'm not sure if I believe that. Like, I didn't really research it very deeply, but I believe in the psychology of manifestation, of course. So like, girl, get up. I'm gonna get up, so you gotta get up too and stop with the boys. Okay, I'm back. But that was another problem with visualizing the dream life and using it as a form of fake scenario. But this it was a random hike. It wasn't visualizing my dream life. The problem when I use visualizing my dream life as a fake scenario is that it kind of turns into like, I start thinking about the how. You know, manifesting being this. I'm not gonna give the details, it's my dream life. I start thinking about the how. I start getting back into my reality and kind of thinking about like, wait, but how would I achieve that? What job do I need? What am I gonna do? And I start thinking about money. And then boom, I'm back in reality. I'm back in the brain chatter. That's the reason I can't sleep in the first place. So I think my advice as someone who kind of is a noob expert in manifestation is this kind of pointless, random hike story. It gets you used to the skill of visualization. And I found that this was easier to help me sleep than actually visualizing like what I want my life to look like in 10 years, because that is a goal and that has an emotional power over me because I'm like, I want to achieve that. So automatically I'm like, but how? And I can't sleep. So actually that's why, and this is what I wrote on the next part of my notes. The other day I was a mermaid with long hair and long nails swimming happily in the neon pink, purple, blue ocean, then coming home. Not saying that. Which then turns into a fake scenario with a guy. Yes, I was coming home to someone apparently. They do help in some way because when I'm done thinking about how the dialogue should be and we move to the mindless sex part, I always fall asleep. Yeah, actually that's why. Not much to think about. So yes, actually, yes, decenter men, but also random fake scenarios with men help. But it doesn't have to be random fake scenarios with men. It could be random cute scenarios like the one I just read to you. It's just about getting your brain used to visualizing. And you know, even with the fake scenarios with the boys, sometimes it also gets me thinking about the how. Cause I'm like, wait, but how could even happen? Because like we don't talk anymore, and now I kind of miss him and I can't sleep again. I'm back in the mind chatter. That is the first reason in the first place that I can't sleep. So then, what to do when you can't sleep? That kid is crying. Yelling. Why are the neighbors yelling? Why are the neighbors? Girl, stop crying! There's a baby who's probably getting beat up or something, because I don't know what the fuck is happening. I have no clue, but it's no good.
瞳もちづき